Hello, sports fans. You are listening to Beyond Debatable, the podcast that covers all things sports. I am your host, Michael Rachel, and he, on the other side of the camera, is Jack, the stat man Cudahy.
What's up, guys?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Once again, we're joined by R. Wade County Malik, and this time we're going to the Western Conference. We're going to talk about the Minnesota-Houston series. But first, before we start, as always, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel right down there below. Follow us on Twitter at Beyond Debatable for live game tweets about our thoughts on the games as they happen. Okay, so I've got beef. I've got beef with Minnesota here. So game one, Houston squeaked out a 104-101 victory. Pretty hard-fought game. Harden had 44 for Houston. Minnesota was led by Andrew Wiggins with 18 points. That's fine. You know what's not fine is Karl Anthony Towns only getting 9 shots. 9. But meanwhile, the Bulls North squad, the Taj Gibson, Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose, Tom Thibodeau didn't take any of the shots, but he's orchestrating. Those 3 players took 38% of the shots for Minnesota. And then on top of that, Crawford added 11. I don't understand how Derrick Rose, who hasn't played double-digit games this year, gets 14 shots and Cat gets 9. Jack, do you have a problem with this like I do? And if so, is it Cat's fault for only getting 9 shots, or is it Tom Thibodeau's?
I definitely have a problem with this, and I mostly blame Thibodeau because this isn't a one-game thing. This has been happening all year long. I'm going to throw some stats out there for you guys. Who do you think led the Timberwolves in shot attempts this year?
Go with Wiggins.
Yeah. He has had a disappointing season by every measure, and he has had more shot attempts per game, by the way. So Butler being injured doesn't factor in. He's averaged more shots per game than Butler and Towns.
He didn't play for Chicago, though, but yeah.
That was my point.
I'm sorry, but how does that make sense? Like, objectively speaking, it's very clear to me that Butler and Towns are the best 2 offensive players on that team. Like, why is Wiggins getting more shots than those guys over a full year?
That's all. I have a bigger problem with Butler only shooting 11 than Towns shooting 9. To be honest.
I mean, this wouldn't be such a big deal to me if it were just one game. Like, it's bad, especially for the playoffs, but this is something that's been happening all year long. I do not see how you can have invested so much in Jimmy Butler and Towns, and you're not even emphasizing your offense around that. Like, Andrew Wiggins this year has not been good. He can't shoot from outside, so whenever he gets the ball, he's chucking things up. He isn't defending that well. I'm very concerned with how this roster is being constructed, and I blame Thibodeau because I think it's amazing because in 2008 or so, when he was on Doc Rivers' staff, kind of with the Boston Celtics being like their defensive mastermind, whatever, he was like considered the top coaching guy. And now he's kind of outdated, if that makes any sense. Like, he's playing guys a ton of minutes. I think Towns, Wiggins, and Butler all have like the most minutes per game in the entire league by like a considerable amount. Meanwhile, the entire league has kind of moved past that to resting guys, the whole Cleveland Golden State thing. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. And this team should be better than this. They're not an 8 seed. Like, talent-wise, this team should be higher up in the standings. I don't know what's going on. I really don't.
So, I mean, a few things. I don't have a particular problem with this game because, I mean, they all pretty much shot pretty efficiently. Derrick Rose, 7 for 14. He got fouled on another one, 16 points. Taj Gibson, 4 for 6. Even Wiggins was 7 for 15, which is above his normal field goal percentage. And then if you want to look at Cat did play the most minutes, so it wasn't like he favored maybe Gibson.
Okay, but don't you find it to be – do you think that Thibodeau could lean towards the guys he's coached before, Rose, Butler, and Gibson to lean on them
over the scrubs, not over Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, he clearly did in game 1.
But you think it was his game plan for Karl Anthony Towns? Not
they did not look inside the Cat. Nothing ran through Cat.
But it wasn't like Butler was shooting a lot either, though. It was pretty well spread out. I mean, Rose led with 14, but
it shouldn't be, really.
I mean, Rose was having a good
Rose should
game.
not be shooting 14 shots.
Normally, you'd want Cat and Butler to lead, but if Rose is having a good game, I don't see the problem with it. But he was having a good game.
See, what I see the rest of the series, I could totally see Thibodeau relying on the guys he knows, the people that have gotten him somewhere in the playoffs before, Jimmy Butler, Rose, and Gibson, which is not okay because they're the 8th seed, playing the best team in the NBA right now, the Houston Rockets. This is the perfect time to get Cat the experience to show out on a big stage to develop his game.
Cat played 40 minutes. He played the most minutes. So
it's not just about playing, though. It's about doing stuff.
But like Gibson and Butler didn't shoot a lot of shots. It was pretty well spread out, I thought.
Butler took 11 shots.
11? But like he should be taking more than that.
Maybe,
but I think Butler's their best. I mean, they're both pretty much up there with.
I think in a series, like, yes, you're trying to win every series, but realistically, they're not going to beat Houston. You've got to develop Cat.
On that team, who would you want taking the last shot? I feel like it's Butler.
I'm not talking last shot. You don't want. When does a center ever take the last shot?
Rarely, but like
exactly.
If you're the Pelicans,
not relevant.
If you're the Pelicans, I'd have Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's different. He's more of like a point.
If Butler wasn't on the team, I'd have Cat over Wiggins.
Sure, but you still have Crawford.
I forgot about Crawford.
So, I mean, centers aren't taking the last shot. I don't think it's about the last shot. I just think it's the principle of the whole game. You don't use your inside man.
Karl Anthony Towns might be the most offensively skilled big man we've ever seen. Just in terms of everything that he can do. What can he not do scoring the basketball?
I don't know.
Exactly, because he can do everything. So why is he 3rd on the team in shot attempts per game?
Who's second? Butler?
Yeah, Butler. Why? I don't understand. This guy is a generational talent. No one on Houston can guard him. Maybe Capella can try. I don't think many people in the league can guard him.
Capella went off.
He did, but I'm just saying you need to attack. If we're looking for a Houston weakness, it's at center. Like that, they don't have a lot of weaknesses, obviously, but I feel like that's a matchup
Capella's.
You need to attack. Where else would you attack? Like, I'm serious.
I feel like Jimmy Butler has an advantage.
They're going to stick Ariza, Tucker. Well, they obviously don't have Mbah Mute, but they have wing defenders to throw at Butler.
Clint Capella's a pretty good defender.
He is. I'm just saying, like, you have limited options. How is Andrew Wiggins going up against a good perimeter defender better than Towns against Capella?
I think they may want to look to trade Wiggins, to be honest.
I would completely agree with that. The thing is, they just signed him to a max deal, so that's going to be very hard to do.
Yeah, I think
if somebody like Kawhi Leonard or I wouldn't go.
Possibly. Game 2 is going to be very interesting for me to watch to see if they play Rose 25 plus minutes. If they give those 3 guys 35% plus of the shots, and to see if Cat. You would think they have to go Cat game 2. They have to if they want any chance to win the series. Yeah, they only lost by 3. They probably played the best game they could have. Not utilizing Cat to its full potential.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our Minnesota problem. Let's go to Houston now. The well-oiled machine of the Rockets. James Harden is he's unbelievable. Dropped 44 in game 1.
Charles Barkley recently said he's the most unguardable player.
I did hear that. Over Kobe. Yes. We're not going to get into that now. But what I do want to get into, are they the favorite to win the title? Jack.
I can't get there yet. They're a really big threat to Golden State. But I think we're jumping the gun a little bit because I think it's very easy to just assume that Golden State, because they finished the season pretty badly. I mean, they lost by 40 to the Jazz or something in the final week of the year. Curry's been out. I think it's very easy to forget just how dominant that team was. I mean, they all year, despite not even trying, they've still been very, very good. They've underperformed. Don't get me wrong, but in Houston has definitely shown themselves to be a formidable opponent and the first real team in the Warriors era to like challenge them in the West. I think let's just cool it a little bit is basically what I'm saying. They have the pieces though. Like if they can give them a run for it. I'm talking like a 6-7 game series. They can definitely push them.
But do we trust James Harden?
No.
Exactly. We don't. And we can't trust, well, okay, we can't trust Curry right now because he's coming off an injury. But history shows that they can turn it on. They can flip a switch. And we don't know if Houston can. This is the best Houston will get. Golden State, I think, is still improving, which is crazy. 84 games into the year.
I feel like they really just cakewalk, dude. I don't even think they cared.
Houston?
No, Golden State.
What do you mean? The regular season?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean they didn't try that hard? Yeah, not like they easily beat everybody. Gotcha.
Yeah, I feel like if they really tried, they could win more than 73. But they just.
I agree. All right. Predictions for this series, Jack.
I have Houston 5 or Houston 5. I just think Houston could easily sweep them though. They're really, really good. Like they're going to have a Hall of Fame point guard on the floor the entire game, no matter what happens. Like that's just hard to stop if you're Minnesota. I think they'll get them in 5. I think Minnesota will get a game. But
I agree. I think they'll split in Minnesota. Houston will take game 2. I could also very easily see it be a sweep, but I think the talent on Minnesota is too high to say that they'll get swept. So I'll take Houston in 5.
I think it'll go 7. I think
7.
I think Minnesota will stay.
Whoa.
I think Houston will win 7.
7. So do you think who wins game 2? You think Minnesota will take game 2?
I think Minnesota will take game 2.
And then split up in Minnesota?
I think they'll split in Minnesota. Yeah.
And then home.
Yeah, home, and then yeah.
Wow.
I feel like that's the title of the episode. Right there.
Houston in 7?
You think that's that crazy?
A little bit.
Minnesota, they were really good before Butler got injured, and then they dropped. I'm pretty sure they were the 4 seed.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, they're only 1 game out of the 4.
They're only 1 game out of the 4, but they were, yeah, I guess that's true. But they were really high up, and then they fell when Butler got hurt.
That's a hot take. Okay.
So do you think, so in order to get it to 7 games, does Cat need to do more, or are you happy with what's going on?
Oh, no, he has to do more.
So you think he's got to be 20-plus, a 20-plus guy?
Points?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I'd want everyone. If Rose can be 20-plus, so that would also. All
right, Jack, game 2. Who you got?
Houston.
I got Houston. Arm's got Minnesota. That's going to do it for us on this podcast. Thank you to Jack and Arm. He is Jack the Stat Man, Cudahy, and I am Michael Rachel. And you've been listening to Beyond Debatable.